The long raindrops knit stitch pattern. Hi, I'm Kristen and welcome back to my channel, Studio Knit. The long raindrops knit stitch pattern. This is another easy one. It creates a reversible pattern of these elongated vertical lines that resemble a rainy downpour. This pattern is created by knitting rows of alternating 1x1 rib stitch pattern. This is an easy level pattern. It's perfect for beginners because it uses only knits and purls. This 8-row repeat knit stitch pattern I think would be perfect to knit up a cozy oversized cowl or scarf. And if you're excited to knit this pattern up, do me a favor, like up this video. It really helps me out. So the written pattern is available in my new knit stitch pattern book. It has 50 knit and purl patterns. So I have it both in a printed version as well as an easy download that's a digital, it's an ebook. This pattern is located right here on page 34 of both the hard copy book and the digital ebook. And you can see that we have both flat and in the round written instructions along with the visual knitting chart. And right here on the photo, you can see this little symbol right here. That indicates that it is a reversible pattern. It looks great both on the right and the wrong sides of your work. The written pattern is also available totally for free directly on my website. I will have all the links you need to know in the description below. So you just scroll to the bottom of the long raindrop stitch page, and there you'll find something called a card. And you can hit print and you can immediately print the written instructions and curl up on the couch and enjoy knitting this pattern. And so for our materials, you can use any yarn and appropriately sized knitting needles that you would like. You'll also want to have some little scissors and a tapestry needle on hand. So let's knit it up. To begin, we are casting on in multiples of 2. So 2 stitches as long as you'd like onto your needle. I am doing 30, that is multiples of 2 onto mine for this example here today. And let's jump right into row 1. So it is K1, P1, that means knit 1. So this very first stitch is a knit stitch. And then P1 is purl. So we're bringing our yarn to the front. We are purling 1 stitch. And between the asterisks, that means we just keep repeating this exact pattern all the way down the row. So again, you will be doing a knit stitch, just knitting 1, and then bringing that yarn back to the front, or up to the front, I should say. Go ahead, purl it 1 time, bring your yarn to the back, and continue this pattern all the way down the row. And look at that, it is exactly the same as row 1. It is K1, P1, so we are knitting 1 stitch, we are purling 1 stitch, and we are repeating this pattern all the way down the row. And here is how it's looking so far. It's really just a 1x1 rib stitch pattern right now. And row 3, again, it is K1, P1. We are knitting 1, we are purling 1, and we are doing this all the way down the row. And you guessed it, row 4, exactly the same. K1, P1, knit 1, purl 1. Have fun doing this same pattern all the way down the row. This is such an easy pattern to memorize, even though it's 8 entire rows that we're repeating. Very, very easy to memorize and not have to refer to the written pattern once you have it down. So let's look at how we are going to switch things up now on row 5. We're beginning with purling, P1, K1. So you want to make sure you have that yarn in the front of your needle because we're beginning with a purl stitch. and we are purling right here, stitch number 1, and bringing the yarn to the back so that we can knit 1 stitch. And because we have those asterisks right there, it means that we are repeating this pattern all the way down the row. P1, K1 is purling 1 and knitting 1. Now, I bet you are suspicious, and yes, row 6 is exactly the same. You are purling 1, you are knitting 1, you're beginning with that purl stitch in the beginning, which can be a little bit tricky, and you can see my yarn tension is a little wonky here, but I'm also trying to knit on camera, which I must admit is not that easy, because I have my needles and my hands much further away from my body than I'm used to, right? So let's look at how row 7 is going to switch things up. Nope, it's exactly the same. It is P1, K1. We're again beginning with that purl stitch. So we're purling 1, bringing the yarn to the back, knitting 1, repeating it all the way down the row. And let's just fast forward here and get to row 8, where we are doing the exact same pattern. We can see how our piece is shaping up and how those alternating rows of the 1x1 rib stitch make a really unique, yummy, cozy pattern. And because it's alternating, it's allowing the piece to lie flat. Unlike the 1x1 rib stitch pattern, this lies a lot flatter. And when I repeat these 8 rows and knit it up a little bit bigger, you can see exactly how those alternating rows turn out. It is a really sweet pattern. This sample right here, I did do a little bit of light blocking, so it sort of allows those rows to stand out a little bit more and not be so bunched together. I hope you enjoyed learning how to knit up this very easy long raindrops knit stitch pattern. I'd love it if you would go check out my new knit stitch pattern book, both in print as well as the ebook, and you can go grab that free pattern down on my website right now as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!